Talking F1. We're on now. There's no intro. We are in at the deep end right here. Welcome to Talking F1 with me, Steve, and Chris. I'm on the wrong side of you, Chris, this week. It's weird. It's been a couple of weeks. How you doing?
All good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, very well. Thank you. The screen size is changing as we are doing this. Well, F1, the season is definitely well and truly underway. Another race this weekend. We head to the... there you guys more like it. We head to one of the more divisive circuits on the calendar. Should it be on the calendar? Should it not be on the calendar? F1 heads to Monaco. Are you one of these F1 should be at Monaco or F1 shouldn't?
Before the race, it should be. After the race, it shouldn't be. So, yes, I'd rather be there than Miami or some of the other dull places we go to. So, let's see what this iteration of car brings.
Yeah, well, there's been a few updates, isn't there, really, since the last race we were at. There's no active aero on this circuit, so the straights aren't long enough. There's going to be no active aero. It's going to be like it was in the good old days, except with electrical energy playing a part as well. Could have some positive effects on the race, hopefully. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's not long enough really for the active aero to really take effect, would it? It's not a big loss, I don't think. The tunnel would have been safety feature, not having that in there purely through safety, I think. And where else on the track really is it going to make an effect? The pitch straight, as we've seen over the number of years of DRS, has never been anything to do with DRS is pointless. So it doesn't really particularly bother me that we haven't got the active aero because it was never going to make an effect as it would anywhere else, really.
No. So there is no active aero for this race, and also it came out that the Mercedes loophole on their engine has been closed. So other people are thinking, could other teams have a bit more of a chance this week? You've got the likes of Ferrari, Red Bull potentially in the hands of Verstappen, McLaren, although they obviously use Mercedes engines as well. That writes off Williams. Gutted. This is our weekend. Any?
Oh, well done, they Williams.
Any teams you think could maybe spring a surprise?
I don't think surprise really. I think you'll have the same three teams up there at the front: McLaren, Ferrari, and Mercedes. I think probably Ferrari are the team to beat. Having looked at the sectionals at Canada, especially where 3/4 of the lap, Lewis Hamilton was the quickest car, and clawed back in a straight. So I think Ferrari probably are the team to beat, but it's not going to be a surprise that they're the team to beat because we've known this season they've got a good car. They're just a little bit down in power, and with that little closed loophole, as you said, and I think they're going to get their permission to use their. Was it the Adova or whatever it was, upgrade shortly, along with Honda. That could be start closing the gap. It might be a little bit too late, but no surprises as such with the three teams. And with Red Bull, we don't really know what Red Bull chassis is really like, do we? Really?
No.
I don't see the likes of Williams or an Alpine. Oh my bloody hell! Call me Jesus and strike me down.
Jeez, hello. Have we got a Neil? We've got a Neil. Good evening. Welcome in.
He's the only bloke I know. It's been the hottest week of the year, and he's dressed like it's -5.
Cold.
Oh, buddy,
what are you talking about?
Cold. It's lovely. Well, good evening, Neil. Welcome in. For those of you watching, do not adjust your screens. This is live. This is happening.
The last time we saw Neil, Fernando Alonso podium.
Excellent. Wow. That was a long time. That's a sad thing to think about. Look at the state of Aston Martin now. Well, we were just saying, Neil, that's obviously it's Monaco this week, which is quite a divisive circuit on the calendar. You know, some people absolutely love it, myself included. To be fair, some people it's not for them. Where do you sit on the fence with this? Where do you sit?
Monaco's just it's a Saturday Grand Prix, isn't it? Really, it's or weekend, shall I say? It's all about the qualifying, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's one of those circuits, isn't it? It's very much like, you know, if you're not on pole, then you're not going to win the race unless you go your Olivier Panis. But I don't know. I love it, but it's the potential. I think for a more exciting race this time because the cars are a little bit smaller, but there is no active aero. Mercedes have had their engine thing sorted, so there's the potential. Do you think for a closer race or a more surprise result?
I can't see it being any more surprising than what we're expecting, to be honest. They're all things that potentially could help, but slim pickings.
Yeah, it's. I really want to tell myself I want to believe that it's going to be like a Ferrari 1-2 and they're going to absolutely run away with it.
What happened to
Who knows?
what happened to making the race more of a spectacle? So we tried the two-stopper last year, but everybody sort of quickly cottoned on as the race unfolded that if you send your top driver on and you get the second driver to hold everybody up, that buggered it. But the FIA just decided that because we've made the cars a little bit smaller, this should make the racing a little bit better. Because I don't quite see how that is. F1 has still outgrown the streets of Monaco, even in this size of car.
Haven't we just taken the car width back to how it used to be, like 2008 sort of era?
But there still wasn't massive overtaking then either.
No. But they're expecting miracles just because they've taken 20 centimetres off the cars.
Yeah, it's hard to think that we're suddenly going to get an overtaking fest, isn't it? I mean, that's never been Monaco anyway, but the cars are still big. And the cars, even though they are more of the sort of the noughties, mid to late noughty sort of size, overtaking wasn't rife around the streets of Monaco in that era anyway. It's going to be the usual thing, isn't it? You know, you get it as high up on the grid as you can, and then if you're lower down, you do hope for freak weather, safety cars, retirements ahead of you.
I think Monaco should become a bit of a test bed. It's the glitz and the glamour. I think they should certainly do. I'd use all three sets of tyres in a Grand Prix.
And the wets.
Yeah, minimum lap time per tyre. Do the wets, mate. That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
But do a McLaren put the inters on in the dry.
Yeah, but minimum lap time, so they can't, be so stupid about it. But also, the old, the old school where the top 10 qualified on their tyre, they then started the race on their tyre. Maybe make Q3 mediums only, or hards only, or softs only, and then they have to then start, say, on a hard or no soft when they don't want to. And then the second part of the grid can then choose freely what they do, and then that can create more of an offset. I don't know. It's ideas really. You've got to keep it a bit more entertaining than what it is, what it will be, which will be a Saturday race, as Neil said.
Chris, with what you just said, if the front runners are on soft tyres and are going to have to pit early, you're going to have the second driver doing that hold up shenanigans again, aren't you?
But if they have to go to a minimum lap time.
It's racing. There is no minimum lap time. We're not VS,
Well,
virtual safety car.
They all know what a car can do. If you're within, you have to be within 2 seconds of your qualifying lap time in a certain area of the race, or you can make there's equations you can make that you can work out a lap time that isn't being detrimental to the race.
Yeah, they've got their ways to measure it, haven't they? A minimum lap time would be ideal, but because you're at risk of having that whole situation again, aren't you? With the second driver sits back, the technicalities, the loopholes, and everything, and it makes absolutely no difference at all. I don't know. It is a tricky one. It's always going to be a divisive circuit, isn't it? It's always until the cars are absolutely tiny again and they can race side by side up the hill to Casino.
I don't even think they can.
It's always going to be that really divisive thing.
The health and safety these days, they've had to bring the barriers in anyway to make sure all the barriers are, are well equipped with the tech pros and stuff. So even if you go back 30 years, there was probably another 6 foot of the racetrack available, just purely where the barriers were.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to get a good overtaking race there, are you? Regardless of.
So it's difficult in terms of the car size is always going to be a bit irrelevant now because health and safety will take precedence. So they are bringing the barriers and make sure the barriers are of a certain standard. Whereas 30 years ago, a wooden fence would have done.
The straights in order to overtake are just too short because into the first corner, by the time you've got up to behind the other car and want to put a move in, you're already at the first corner and you're going up the hill. It's just not long enough. And then coming down through the tunnel, that's just never been an overtaken place unless you absolutely caught someone asleep.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we've seen a few good overtakes over there.
How we bring back refueling? That creates the offset, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was well received last time.
The only way I see refueling coming back is if you have a rough set time and it's a lot slower than because as soon as you're trying to do a 2-second pit stop and you're doing a Felipe Massa by pulling the fuel rig with you, it's just disastrous, and I just don't think they're gonna
just get a load of jerry cans out and just pour it in. You don't have to worry about the fuel loads, isn't it?
Oh, Felipe, 2008.
Did he do it twice?
Well, yeah, we shall. Possibly. Always remember Singapore.
Yeah, did he do? Who did it at Monaco? Someone did it at Monaco. Was it him?
I don't know. Someone did it at Monaco. Then someone, maybe Trevor Lyman, pulled out in front of Raikkonen with the hose attached, and it spilt all over the front of Raikkonen's car and set Raikkonen on fire briefly. Remember that? Bring it back. It was a spectacle.
Was 2008 with the Crashgate thing?
Yeah.
Because with all the things going on in court with Felipe trying to get some reimbursement, it's sort of come out that it's not because of the Crashgate why he lost the championship. It's the fact that he made a mistake and drove off with that fuel rig doesn't really help him. He lost a massive amount of points there.
2 big moments in that season, I can't remember which really cost him, apart from Crashgate. One was when he had an engine failure in Hungary, I want to say, when he was leading. The car let him down, and Silverstone, he kept spinning. Had a terrible race in Silverstone, which I think Hamilton dominated, and obviously Crashgate as well. So there were multiple reasons Massa lost that championship. Crashgate didn't help, but unfortunately, as much as I love Felipe,
Crashgate was one race.
It wasn't just Crashgate. Yeah.
There were 17 other opportunities.
Yeah. And
with mentioning Lewis there, now seems a bit more of a happy bunny. How is he going to do in Monaco?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult against Charles. And Charles' absolute, that is his Grand Prix. That's Lewis's Silverstone to, Leclerc. He's just absolutely mental there, isn't he?
Young Charlie Leclerc, who has signed another multi-year deal with Ferrari. He is determined to not win himself a championship, isn't he? He does not
Glutton
want
for
that
punishment.
It's interesting. You, as we've said a few times, Steve. You think they'd be hanging on a little bit with the drivers' market that could potentially play out over the summer. Ferrari probably going to hang on for him. So why doesn't he eke it out and really try and get another seat somewhere that could potentially win him a bloody Grand Prix championship?
Have you guys heard what's happening with the engine regs? The new ones that they're trying to push, the ones that Max want part of, and the teams, a load of the teams now seem to be going back on it.
Going to 60-40.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I haven't heard that.
I haven't seen the whole details, but I know that he likes it because it's a step in the right direction, as he says.
One of the teams you think be against it because they've got these ones so correct. Mercedes aren't against it. It's more some of the others.
Yeah, I know Ferrari against it because they'll lose the opportunity to develop, won't they? I think.
Yeah.
To use the development bit that they're allowed to.
I know with Honda getting a load of improvement time this season. I know Ferrari want a load of that as well, and some of the teams are slightly against it.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. A 60-40, it's like Max says, it is a step in the right direction because 50-50 is just, it's not. We've spoken about it before here, it's not the right direction for Formula One.
It's not clever, it hasn't been clever, it should never have been. We're just dealing with what the governing body decided was what we should have had, and it's just not. Should have listened to Red Bull along.
Yeah, we're now dealing with their mistakes. So thank you for that. I love the super clipping. Massive fan of the super clipping. But there probably won't be too much of that around the streets of Monte Carlo this weekend, so that's fine. It might be more of an old school race, less dependent on battery power, less dependent on the aero side of it. Charles Leclerc could absolutely storm away with this one, get pole position, as he does like to do around Monaco, but then hold it up and get a win. I know he's very, very unlucky around Monaco, but he's won there. Was it once he's won there now?
How would you reckon?
These ones.
Oh, Charlie will be if he gets beat by Lewis.
Frustrated, very, very frustrated.
We've not had this. We've not had that. We won't have had this many races where Lewis outperforms Charles for, quite a while, or if ever.
Canada was obviously the last race, and Lewis was the quicker driver in Canada. But overall, in their time together, it has really been Charles, hasn't it? Who's been the more dominant of the two.
Yeah.
And it's hard to see that changing in Monaco. Like you say, Chris, it's his circuit. It's what Silverstone is to Hamilton, Monaco is to Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc has taken pole positions at that circuit in cars which haven't been anywhere near as competitive as the other cars on the field. He just seems to find another gear. He seems to find something else around that circuit. So as good as Hamilton was around Canada, and obviously he soundly beat Leclerc, it's hard to see him doing it again this weekend. I think Charles Leclerc he's certainly my favourite for pole, at least.
But we are still we're seeing that Charlie Leclerc there. He only really turns up his circuits again. Canada, China, which he notoriously doesn't particularly like or enjoy. He's not put. Last year he was beating Lewis. Obviously, but Lewis was struggling a little bit with the car. This year it seemed very much they're pretty even, and it's the fine details of driving style, I suppose, to circuits that are being the difference at the minute with them.
Yeah. And Charles, I love Charles Leclerc, I really do, but he is just too inconsistent. And Hamilton has been finding another gear. He's got a couple of podiums now this season. He does seem to be turning up the pressure. I don't think Charles Leclerc has to be worried or should be worried, but certainly the past few weekends, Lewis Hamilton has looked stronger. But I just like to say, this weekend, I think it's got Charles Leclerc written all over it.
For me,
hello, welcome in. During the race, every time Hamilton said to his engineer, "Give me more power," I was hoping his engineer would reply with, "I'm not He-Man." That was, "I need more power, man."
For me, Charles just has far too much of. As soon as you put him under pressure, he does a Sebastian Vettel, and he's got a mistake in him.
I think 22 was his year.
Yeah.
That car, for 3/4 of that season was the quicker car. He lost a lot of those races.
There were incidents, wasn't there, with that one? I mean, he has such a strong lead over Verstappen after a few races.
Remember France?
It had a number of breakdowns. Yeah, France does stick out in my head. The car wasn't the most reliable. I remember both Carlos and Charles had issues with that car and the reliability. But yeah, there was a lot of little individual errors from Charles Leclerc, which did cost them big time. And since then, the Ferrari just hasn't been as competitive, has it?
No.
No, mate.
We'll see.
Hopefully it will be, though.
And as you see, he knows something we don't, which is why he's committed to a multi-year deal. He's seen what Ferrari have got in the pipeline.
It's seen their V8.
I'd love to see it. Yeah. I'm staying here till 2030. 2031, probably. That's all gone a bit quiet now, isn't it? Because, Soleim was saying about, we're going to V8s whether the manufacturers like it or not, and if we can get them all on board, it's going to be 2030. If not, 2031. That's gone a bit under the radar. I haven't heard anything about that for a couple of weeks now.
The problem is we've come into an era of these engines, and you've got to have them for X amount of time because the manufacturers have put quite a bit of budget into them. And then even if you're going to slightly tweak them to this 60/40, will it happen next season or the season after? Some teams are getting potential to improve where they've sort of got a bit of a gap to the front runners. How many seasons of that do you have before you even remotely get to where we want to be with some V8s? It's just getting pushed further and further back.
There is a rumour that Williams have started developing the car for them. That's
their season.
I can't go through this again. I can't do this again.
They decided that this wasn't the one. It's the V8 era.
No, please. I'm not recovered.
Get Cosworth back.
I can't wait another. Oh, Cosworth. I'd love to see Cosworth back. I can't wait another, 27, 28, 34 years, 4 or 5 years, building on, yes, this is Williams' year, and then they turn up with an absolute shite box again. I can't. I'm not over this year yet.
Oh, I'll tell you what we did. We didn't do Canada.
Been looking stronger.
Oh, Franco Colapinto's turned up the last 2 Grand Prix, and that Alpine don't look too bad in certain trims. I mean, and they changed their engine late last season, so already beaten Williams. The V carb was quick, but it's a bag of nails.
Do you think it has to have gone off the radar as well? They started the season really strongly, and now they're struggling again.
With the Williams, it's mostly supposed to be overweight.
But they're not. They're not. I don't think that
they're not miles off, though, are they? They're not Aston Martin.
Well, no, that. I mean, if Lawrence Stroll wants to waste any more money, he might as well just send the money to me because it's not working where he's putting it at the minute.
No, I mean, it's a tricky one because there's fluctuations in the midfield. Haas started off really strongly. They're now they're fading a little bit. RB have their moments. Alpine have now suddenly turned up. Colapinto, the past couple of races he's been sort of on a par with or quicker than Gasly. And Williams, Williams has got a few points finishes. Carlos Sainz has finished 9th in a good few races now this season. That seems to be the pinnacle of that car.
But yeah,
it's so frustrating.
The problem I have with Williams is they've openly spent 2 years designing a car to be exactly where they were last year.
Yeah.
In fact, a little bit worse off because they were mixing up with 5th and 6th at the time, weren't they? Ferrari really at the time. So they've spent 2 years of resource, time, energy, concentration to go backwards.
Have you boys heard anything about this guy whose name has sort of randomly appeared that's supposed to be running Williams? Or has some control on it?
It's something about some lawsuit or something. He's controversial figure. I read a little bit about it. But obviously, apparently it was all swept under the carpet or something, isn't it? So it's difficult to find any too much actual proper information out. But he's not even meant to be referred to by name.
I did read a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be dodgy or anything, but it's written down that his name can't be used, and in all the emails, his name can't be used.
Yeah, not dodgy at all. What's wrong with that? Don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, that is. I don't know. It's a frustrating time to be a Williams fan right now. It really is.
I would say that Williams is. I would say Williams are still struggling with all of their infrastructure being outdated, but you think that Aston Martin have upgraded all of theirs and they're still pathetic. So, are they really losing out too much?
Talking of which, have you seen the Aston Martin livery for the weekend? It looks quite nice. Bit of copper on the front there.
No, I haven't.
It's not going to help it go any faster. It's all right. But McLaren have got one as well because it's their thousandth race this weekend, isn't it?
I was reading about that 1000th race. It's actually their 999th because they had a DNS at China, but because it was earmarked as their 1000th race because of the Canada reshuffle, they've just gone with it anyway. So they've actually got so it's 999 technically because they had a DNS this season, but they're carrying it off as their 1000th.
They like their one-off livery for Monaco anyway.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of special liveries. It used to be that teams would run a special livery once in a blue moon.
At Monaco, that was it.
Thing, but now it's like, sod it, special livery for this race. Why? I don't know. It's Miami. No, you don't need it. You don't need a special livery for Singapore or for Miami or Silverstone. If it's like an earmark race, I don't know why there's a comment of 7.34152 there. I think I might have touched something on my keyboard. Strange. But I don't know. It used to be that it was a special thing, and now it's like, sod it, special one-off livery, merchandise.
A T-shirt for
It's taken the shine off special liveries. Yeah, it's taken the shine off special liveries for me.
Oh, I agree. Actually, I don't take much interest in them because there's so many of them.
Yeah, exactly. But there we go. That brings us pretty much to the end of our little show this week. So before we do mosey forth, Neil, what is your Monaco Grand Prix top 3 in reverse order?
I'll have it's going to be George, Lewis, and Leclerc.
Ooh, lovely. Chris?
Lewis, Norris, Leclerc.
Okay, so Ferrari very, very strong. I was going to go for George, Norris, Leclerc. So all three of us have a Leclerc win on the cards. So
Ferrari, it's very good in slow speed.
I don't know. At this moment, I haven't got confidence in McLaren. So you boys have far more confidence in them than I do. After seeing them put Inters on, that they haven't got a win in them.
They'll bounce back from that.
Shocking.
Maybe, possibly. But that was one of the worst strategy calls I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Not just from McLaren, but for the other teams as well. Carlos had them on, and other drivers did as well. Terrible. But if there's one thing that's guaranteed in Formula One, be it McLaren making poor strategy calls every now and then, Williams being disappointing, you can always guarantee that an Audi will be P11. That seems to be just the written thing now. But there we go. Thank you very, very much for watching. We shall see you next week. Enjoy the Monaco Grand Prix. May it be fun-filled and action-packed, and have a Ferrari winning it. I've been Steve. He's been Neil. He's been Chris. We shall see you next week. Cheers.